I stole some more strawberries. And okay, they're a little banged up, but that's because I delayed making this for a little while. And I could have done something that I've done before, simple strawberry pie with like custard, or maybe Earl Grey custard that I did last year. It was very fun and very yummy. But the goal this year is to do something that I haven't done before, so yeah, I need to experiment a little. I wanted to make a strawberry basil pie because I love the strawberry basil combo, and I got some basil on hand because of the garden. And I was like, yeah, sure, I can probably whip up something between. I was not super excited about it. And then I remembered that on my list of things to do are Waitress pies from the movie Waitress. And one of them, the Oasis Pie, strawberry Oasis Pie, contains strawberries, so I could do that. And that's what I'm going to do today. Because I can. Life is so much better like this. So, the strawberry Oasis pie is described, and we have a visual for it after she got her colleague cheating. She does get a slice of the pie, the last slice, and we see something. So the outside is a classic pie crust, and inside is a chocolate filling covering whole strawberries. Now we know it's a no-bake pie, except for like the crust, because the strawberries are still whole, and strawberries do not like being cooked. So whenever they're baked or cooked, they just turn into mush. So the fact that it's still whole tells me that it's a no-bake pie, which I can do. So a chocolate filling that is not something that we'll need to bake, I'm going for ganache over whole strawberries, and like there are still whole strawberries on top for garnish. So like each slice as a whole one. And the description of it describes it as, first you got the hint of an exotic spice, then the chocolate bittersweet like an old love story, and then the strawberries. And it's like, yeah, the strawberries, the way you have always wanted to eat them but never will. The fact that I'm using fresh garden strawberries will definitely do the trick, because they're delicious. They're so much more flavorful than the stuff you buy in stores. So that's good. Now the only thing that I do not know is exotic spice. Now exotic spice in my mind does not mean vanilla, because vanilla is widespread. Cinnamon is the same. I don't think it would call it exotic spice if it was just cinnamon. So like exotic spice, I think I want to go with ginger. But ginger and chocolate strawberry just doesn't match. I know that Binging with Babish decided to go with cinnamon and allspice for his, and while his pie is totally not screen accurate and I'm not copying it, I think allspice is a good idea. There are other options, there are a lot of spices out there, but an exotic spice with no further specifics, we have to guess. So I kind of want to go with allspice. I think it would just bring a little kick and a lot of flavor, and I think that's what would make the pie magical. So for the texture of it, the ganache will need to be set firm, not just something that is firm for like 2 seconds the time you cut the pie and then slowly melts into your plate. No, I need something that is firm. So I'm going to use a ganache that is 2 parts chocolate, 1 part cream, because I think that's what's going to make it work the best. And it's going to, it's the ratio you use for truffles. So I think that will work well. And I'm going to put the spice in the cream as I heat it. That's kind of the goal. I think that would be fun. And if it doesn't work out, I'll make more experiments. I'm sure I'll love the result no matter what, and it'll give me more excuse to experiment more with Waitress pies. By the way, there are blackberries in my garden and they're ripening slowly. So maybe after this one I can make the blackberry one that she makes with the lover. This one sounds interesting. They're chocolate, possibly ganache, but not sure. That is poured over, I don't think it's brown sugar and white sugar at the bottom of the crust, and then the blackberries are mashed and poured on top of the chocolate and then baked. It's an interesting pie and I'm interested to do it. I don't know how it will turn out, but it's interesting and I'm curious. So that's the goal. I also have another pie in the making that is going to be using those little fuckers. They are little yellow plums. They're called mirabelles. I don't know if they're widely spread, but there is a tree of it in the community garden, and there is one, I don't know, like 10 meters from my door. Belongs to the neighbor, but who cares? And they're both currently giving fruits. A lot of them, and delicious. I will make a pie with them. Because eating them all like that is not sustainable. They spoil too fast. That's why I have another pie crust. By the way, pie crust, I already baked it and it's not pretty. It's not particularly fancy, but I don't care. I could have made it taller, but yeah, I forgot that it shrunk. It's like €260. It does not require me to remix some all-purpose flour from Let Them Eat gluten-free cake, which I did not want to do because it takes forever. It's relatively cheap and visually it will look a lot more like the reference than a homemade pie crust, because gluten-free does not react the same way. So from what it looks like in the movie, I don't know if they used, real homemade pie crust or if they used store-bought for most of them just because it was easier for the filming. But the truth is, this one will look a lot more like the reference, so that's what I'm going for. I got my strawberries and I got just some regular baking chocolate. And let's make this ganache. I've got some allspice here because that's something they use a lot. I use it as replacement from pepper because I don't like regular pepper, which is just too strong but not flavorful enough. I just don't like it. But allspice is a great replacement for it. So I have allspice, I use it often. I've got my chocolate. Let's heat up the cream. I don't care how they look. They're one that I'm going to go inside the pie. I have much prettier ones to put on top, so it's okay. Here we go. It's not the prettiest, and I don't have a lot of strawberries left for garnish, but that's a problem for tomorrow me. Let's stir this ganache. Should be nice and melted. Bad. It smells good. It smells like chocolate and allspice, which is perfect. That's not a lot of ganache. I have a feeling that I should be doing more. I think that's gonna cover it. I'll make more. It's okay, I've got chocolate. I've got almost 200 grams there. Some more cream. And some more allspice. I want it a little heavy, but I think I like it. I'm not afraid of allspice. It's not that, you know, bitey for pepper. It's flavorful, but it doesn't attack your tongue, so I should be fine. It smells so interesting, the cream with the allspice. Man, it's so interesting. I like it. Honestly, the allspice almost make it smell savory, which I think is going to just work out. It's gonna be really good. Even if it's not like groundbreaking like the original from the movies, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be good. And I think I will not regret eating it. Gotta make it. Which is the most important part. I don't want to regret putting my strawberries that I stole from my neighbors in it. Just like the plums, I stole them. Well, half of them I have like authorization to take them because he's in a holiday, so he's in vacation. So he comes back like every Wednesday, saw him today. But the other one definitely picks them every 2 days, and I'm definitely stealing them from him. There are still bits that are not melted. It's a tragedy. Still, it's so nice, so silky smooth. And I know if I let it cool, I could make fantastic truffles out of this. But I won't, I will make pie with it. And it's just as dark as I wanted it to be because all of the chocolate no-bake pie that I've checked out on the internet, chocolate was so diluted in cream, it wasn't even dark anymore. It was like grey-brown. It's not chocolate, it's not what it looks like in the movie. I wanted it to be dark. So I needed to have this specific ratio for it to still be a ganache that kinda works and still being dark and still being mostly chocolate. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. It's right, it's exactly the right amount, I think, to fill the pie without overflowing and enough to cover the strawberries. Good to know! If I wanted it to look very nice, I would like use a palette knife, an offset palette knife. But I do not care about what it looks like, I only care about what it tastes like. It's not gonna be one of the pie arts. I don't have the energy for that. Also that it's plum season, there is like a dessert that is a specialty of my area that requires a very specific variety of green plums. And that is mostly my town's specialty, and like nowhere else do you find it because nowhere else think about it. And like 6 years ago, somewhere in between, maybe 5, I was working and I was like, this is ridiculous. I bake a lot and I can't even do this specific stuff, this specific dessert that my cousin is known for. This has to be corrected. So I like spent a month on it. No, maybe not a month. I spent 2 weeks. I did 3 or 4 different versions. I tried everything until I found the one, and I found a recipe that worked. And then I stopped eating gluten. And I don't know if the very specific dough that worked for it will work without gluten. So I kind of need to know. So I'm gonna get some plums and make it eventually. Anyway, this silky goddess is going to the fridge, and I'm seeing you tomorrow for, you know, decorating and tasting. But this needs to set. Bye bye. By the way, the plum thing is a pie. It's like a pie with, you know, it's covered in dough, and there's a hole in the center which the juice escapes from, and you know, it's a specific thing. I cannot explain. It's a very specific thing. And it's the next day, and it's cold and firm. It's great. It's a lovely little pie. And I love this store-bought pie dough because it just lights off. Doesn't stick at anything. Boy, do I love that. It's really hard. It's really truffle-like, which is good. I've got some strawberries. Gonna be gentle. Strawberries are fragile things. I'm gonna pick the ones that are roughly the same size. I don't have many of them, but I'm sure I'll manage something. Okay, they're not the prettiest, but that's what you get when you just, you know, get strawberries from a garden and not from a store. There's here, there. So what I'm gonna do, because I can, I'm gonna put a blob of whipped cream in the middle. Why? Because in the diner they serve it with a bit of whipped cream on the side. Yeah, no, I don't know, I'm not sure. Maybe a bigger one in the middle. Yeah, it was missing something. There, it looks like a pie. Ta-da! I'm gonna take pictures now. Another fun part where I get to eat it. Let's get a big old slice. I can cut it, which means it's not tough enough not to cut it, which I was afraid of. A little. That's a lot of pressure for this pie dough, but look, it looked just like in the picture. Well, better cut because mine cracked, but you know. I think I'm gonna take another picture like that. Yeah, no, it's gonna be a crappy picture. Not worth it. Okay, let's have a taste. You can see the strawberries inside. It's so cool. Like it. It's weirdly empty there. That's good. That is so good. I didn't expect it, but man, the spice just makes it. It's just like you described it. First, the bite of the spice, the pepper, then the bittersweet chocolate, which just takes you. It's very dark, it's very nice. And then finally, the strawberry. It's great. I totally recommend it. The strawberries are so juicy and tasty. So nice. Overall, a pretty simple recipe, but so worth it. Regrettably, it's gonna be a pretty heavy pie on my stomach, so probably won't be able to eat most of it, but it's good. It's really good. Maybe another spice, because honestly I don't think I can taste the allspice all that much. Yeah, I'm kidding, I can. It just mixed with the chocolate into a very nice taste. Yeah, I love it. Definitely recommend. Have fun, make a strawberry Oasis pie for yourself because you deserve it. Because life is shit, and life is a little better when you have strawberry Oasis pie. Alright, see you next week. The allspice ganache is pretty nice. There's a bite to it, so great.